what are the skills required, right? Skills, technologies, languages, tools to do a great X job, and X for front-end, back-end, mobile, and overall engineering. Who wants to start?
I can.
Good.
So I work in backend and also I've done some front end, but I can only speak of the backend. So backend wise, mostly being profession in the most common thing is Java, and there are some projects that work with Node.js. So if you know Java, this is starting from Java 8 up to Java 11. We work with everything, and the mindset won't only be that I only develop software, but I also know how to operate it as part of the DevOps. So you can start from running your from the requirements part to running your project to deployment on AWS or Google Cloud, and to maintain it. Make sure that you know the types of deployments, the canary, the blue-green, and how to roll out features. From the language perspective, knowing a functional programming language like Scala, Clojure, Kotlin even are quite nice, and knowing some languages like Java, that's widely known, and also languages similar to or frameworks like Node or JavaScript for backend, that's also very useful.
How about Go or Ruby?
Go is also getting very popular, but it's mostly heading toward the DevOps part because most of the people use it to bootstrap Kubernetes clusters and also write some kind of adapters. It's really nice, and even in Go, we're trying to go toward Go a little bit. However, most of our services are written in Java and some other small services in Scala, and also frameworks that related to Scala. Similar to Finagle or something that's written by Twitter, Finatra, Finagle, or Akka framework for batch processing. So it's mostly covering all this small set of tools. It's not that much. Also knowing scripting like Python or Bash is very handy if you want to accomplish certain tasks or do some batch processing. So that's mostly
cool.
What you need to cover so that you can just progress.
Okay, you also mentioned cloud infrastructure, right?
Yes. Okay. And also, if you have an edge for something like Elasticsearch or Solar, that's really have a very good demand in Berlin. I mean, it's one of the highest paid technologies that if you know Elasticsearch pretty well, you can land in various teams that are trying to create a better search and better recommendation systems. So if you are aware of information retrieval systems like Solar Cloud, Solar, or Elasticsearch, those are very attractive.
Awesome. Cool. What do the front end guys say? Go ahead. Mobile.
Yes, I mean in the end, it's like there are some foundations in which all the front end share. I'm talking about from the mobile perspective. That this basic skills I call it is to how to manage the large code base, because most of us worked in small companies at some point, and they saw how big the code can grow. And for small apps, it's really tempting to like take shortcuts just to get things done. But after some time, it grows massively. So it's the main skill I see in the mobile technology or any mobile development is to be able to manage large code base, which has some principles and software quality skills you need to have, such as solid principles, for example, how to write clean code, how to write your code in a way that follows the design patterns, that solves future problems that may come into place, and of course to stay up to date with the technology means you have to look at the latest technology in the market, the community. You have to participate in conferences. If you don't have the luxury to participate to a conference, you can watch some talks. This way you will increase your knowledge and you will gradually become better developer.
That sounds interesting. And to give some advice to our audience, like are there one or two technologies or languages that you would advise aspiring mobile developers should know?
Well, the market here I see in Germany doesn't go toward like cross platforms, even though it's tempting and there are some really nice frameworks, but still not mature yet. And a lot of big names are moving away from it, such as Airbnb and some part of, for example, Facebook has been reverted back to the native. So all the market is going toward native languages. So in Android, it's mainly going through towards Kotlin, and for iOS, it's all about Swift now.
Yeah.
Nobody's using Objective C anymore. But for the Android, it's mostly Kotlin, and Kotlin is trending. And I see also a lot of companies are moving 100% to Kotlin. So it's become like really mature, and you can use it in production.
Interesting. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. And how about web front end?
Yeah, where can I start from? It's like right now the ecosystem for front end is growing and evolving so fast, as all of us knows. But my first advice about front end is learn how to write JavaScript. That's it, right? Everyone thinks that he knows how to write JavaScript. I still think that I know how to write JavaScript, but I don't. Right? No one knows. So this is the first advice, is to deep dive into the core of the JavaScript itself. And don't focus on CSS and HTML, right? Because we have a misconception in some Middle Eastern company that front-end development is a UI development. And these are two different things. UI development can be done by a designer. Like an experienced designer can do front-end UI development, but front-end development is kind of real development that you deal with APIs, understanding RESTful APIs, understanding the HTTP responses and stuff like this. It goes beyond designing and developing the UI.
It's a web app.
Yes, it's a web app, exactly. So fortunately, I prepared for this question a couple of things, but it's in my laptop, and we are streaming from this laptop. But I have a list of skills and stuff in the technical side that you guys need to master in order first to pass the interviews and in order to pass the probation period in your company and then shine afterwards. If you give me 1 second, I just can open it. So as I told you, JavaScript is very, very important. If you have, if you are experienced in ES6, this is a big plus. And also one thing in front-end development is critical path rendering. I believe most of the front-end developers knows about critical path rendering, but you have to be prepared for this. You have to be able to answer a question, which one is blocking, which one is not, like CSS is blocking or not, JavaScript files are blocking or not, these kind of questions. Basic or medium Node.js knowledge, like for example, you need to deal with authentication as a front-end developer, not as a back-end developer, and also package management and bundles, stuff like this. Right now we have Rollup, we have Webpack, we have a lot of bundlers that helps you to ship your application. You might need to learn at least one of them and understand your needs and which one fits in your needs. Going further into the testing, any one of us can talk about testing for years, but please, yes, exactly. Please give a very, very careful and very, very much attention to the testing, specifically unit and functional testing, integration test, and end-to-end test for front-end is super important. Things like Docker right now is a requirement, at least for my company. As a front-end developer, I have to deal with Docker. I have to ship my application from end to end at the end. Functional programming is so trending. If you know some functional programming, this will help you improve your profile. By functional programming, we are talking about simple functional programming, not really functional programming, Haskell or something like this. I'm trying to be fast, but These are
So
the
then
things
you're
that
so
I,
detailed.
yeah, this is the things that I personally touch in my daily work. Reactive programming is a big plus. If you know RxJS, it's very good. You can use RxJS with Angular or React or even Vue.js. It's just try to do pair programming a lot with your pairs because it is required here in Germany to explain and express your ideas and to do pair programming with your colleagues. Maybe in your native language, in your home country, you can talk with your native language, but you have to practice how to talk to people with different culture and try to ship or deliver the idea that you have to them through code or through just articulating your idea. Static code analysis, have a look at ESLint, Prettier, these things. I've never touched it before I come to Germany, and then I figured out that it's super important and it helped a lot in standardizing the way the team writes code. GraphQL is plus, server-side rendering is a plus also if you know about it, and at the end, monitoring and communication skills. Communication skills, you have to focus on communication skills, and maybe we can take another question regarding this. Try to practice Codelity for front-end development, sometimes for algorithms, simple algorithms and stuff like this. This will also help you to reach the level of passing the interviews.
Good, thank you.
It took so much time.
Yeah, that's wonderful because I believe it's very helpful if we're very specific.
Yeah.
So Leandro, you're next,
Yes.
engineering manager. Is there anything that was missing so far what you're expecting people to know in bigger engineering
Yes.
teams?
I think maybe from the engineer point of view, we also wait for the developers and engineers to know exactly what you said about design patterns, how we apply solid principles, and basically in Get Your Guide, everything that was said here, it's a valid point from the front end. The only point that I would like to add is there are a lot of companies that still use PHP as the main language, and on that, most of the companies, they usually use Symfony as a framework, mainly Symfony 4. And it's not because it's PHP that you cannot develop good code, let's say, right? You can also apply the solid principles, you can also Dockerize your application. You can also be aware that some architecture like event sourcing, CQRS, it's good to know how you apply them and when you shouldn't apply them. And also some other topics like domain-driven design, which takes care about everything that has been said here on the problem space, which is like have this mindset of end-to-end. So you understand the problem you are trying to solve to better create the architecture that matches that part. So this is a very interesting thing. Don't only focus on the framework, also try to focus on the end-to-end, because this is what drives your choice on architecture.
Great. And we keep on hearing about microservice architectures and Docker, etc. Can you stress the importance of that?
Yes, sure. The main importance for me is, as you also pointed out, as your code base grows, your company also grows. And sometimes we just do changes in our organization, don't do changes in the code. So we don't care because we have short-term goals. So we start changing the goal, the source codes. We don't care about others. We don't care about readability. So there is one thing that's called like Commons law, that the source code is there is a relationship between your source code and the organization structure. So microservice is not like one solution fits all. Microservices needs to be done carefully because it comes with other complexity. So it's still possible to have a monolithic application that has well-defined modules where you can use the solid principles to do that. The main point is microservice, it's good to know the standards and how to apply them and the drawbacks of that solution. So microservices, read about it, always try to, for each article that says that microservice is good, there are other two that says that microservices are not good, but everything depends on the problem you're trying to solve. At Get Your Guide specifically, we are preparing an infrastructure that allows the teams to create the services in the size they want. If it's a micro, if it's a API-based solution, you as engineer need to decide the the pros and cons of all solutions about your application.
Got it. Okay, thank you.